What's up, guys? We're back one more time, and today kind of sick, under the weather, but I'm gonna give you guys the walk around, give you guys the specs of my wheels, give you guys the tire sizes. I know I touched on it a little bit before, but I'm going to give you guys the full rundown, you feel me? From the wheels to the tires. I'm gonna show you guys the trunk, a little bit of the work in the back. I'm not gonna go into full detail about the rear right now, but I'm just gonna show you guys a little bit what's going on in the back, and I think it'll be dope. So I'm just gonna get right into it, and we're gonna go crazy, you feel me? So first things first, I'm gonna touch on the wheels for y'all, you feel me? The wheels, of course, everybody's been asking about these wheels right here. These bad boys are kind of dirty right now, but these are walled wheels. Super Japanese, man. I really love these wheels. They're super unique. I've only seen a few of them. These are the only ones I've seen, of course, on the Mustang, on any domestic and stuff like that, but they're really unique. I just like the different style that they bring to the table, you know. Super Japanese, but still super like clean, you know. So I just like that style that these brought. So these are walled wheels. I forget the name. I'll like put it somewhere and show you guys the full name, but they are walled something. I gotta figure it out. But to the tires in the front, we're running 225 35s 19. You feel me? So those are the 19s are rocking. You feel me? That's how we're rocking. That's how we're coming. And then in the rear, these are 255 35s. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, 255 35s. But like I said, we are gonna run smaller just because I rub a lot in the rear right now, just because of, I mean, how it sits, of course. So we're gonna run lower, but if you still want that nice, beefy, strong stance, nice, clean setup, definitely I would go with these wheels. Like if I was just a tad bit higher, I would go with the 255 35s. And I mean, I'm on super stiff suspension on front and rear, and it still kind of rubs a little bit. But once we get on to the 30, I think we'll be golden. I think we'll be really good, and I mean, everything's gonna be steady, you feel me? So that is those. The lug nuts, of course, they're just 6-speed lug nuts, nothing special, nothing crazy, but I am gonna go 326 power lug nuts soon, so that's gonna be dope. I just have to find it in my gut to spend that much money on them, but soon enough I am gonna buy the lug nuts for those. But as of right now, shout out to 6-speed for always coming through and blessing me with lug nuts, blessing me with license plate covers, everything. You guys, anything I ask for, you guys send it straight to me. So big shout out to you guys, and you guys are the best. So that's the lug nut setup. I'm gonna go to the front. I'll show you the rear last because that's what all you guys are gonna want, so I'm gonna show you that last. But in the front, we are running UPR arms. You can't really see it, of course, because it's under the car, but actually I might be able to get a little, yeah, I can get a little glimpse under it. Okay. So I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of the arms. You see it in there? A little bit. Focus, hold on. There we go. Alright, so we are running, you can't see it the best, but you can still see it a little bit. So we are running UPR arms on it, and we extended them, I think, 1.5 2 inches, I'm not sure. On the safe side, I would just go 1.5 inches, just because, I mean, I don't see why you need 2 inches. I mean, you're trying to be a wild boy, but I'll go 1.5 inches or even lower if you're not trying to get a lot more camber. I think I went 2 inches just because I don't know if I was going to run more camber. That's the arms. I'm trying to think. Of course, the springs in the front are all around R326 power, running 50K all around, but I am going to run 80K in the front just because I feel like it's a bit heavier. Well, it is a bit heavier with the 4.6, so I'm going to run 80K in the front and just keep the 50K in the rear. Long run, like if I was going to go wider wheels in the front and then just run more camber, but honestly, I'm probably not. I'm just going to run bigger lips. I'm going to get all these redone, relipped and rebarreled, and just run bigger lips and just keep trying to fit it, you feel me, on that camber, because I like the performance I can get from that and the look that I get from it. So I can go any more camber. I thought about it, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick with that. I'm on a camber in the front, and of course in the rear I'm not going to go camber just because, like I told you guys, I am going to be running a high horsepower swap. coming up, and I do want to slide this, put on the track, so I won't be running camber in the rear just because I want full contact patch to my rear with all the power that I have, you feel me? So I'm not gonna run that. All around I am running field suspension. In the rear, the setup is just a one-piece coil, so it's not like how you see it where it's like independent, where you got a spring and then you got your strut or your shock or whatever. No, it's just a one piece, like a little coilover. It's pretty small, you feel me? So everybody that's been asking my suspension setup in the rear, it is from Feel. They custom made me coilover. They got it to me in a timely fashion, and shout out to Feel also. You guys are the best. I couldn't make this crazy thing happen without you guys, so you guys are the best. But anybody that was, because I did, like I said, I did hear that you can run Miata coils in the rear if you, I don't know if you want to or something like that. I haven't tried it personally, but you can try it and it might work. I mean, people's told me, so you could try it. But like I said, I went with the absolute, I don't want to say bang for your buck, but I went the absolute like best setup I could, you know, come up with. Feel me? After all the research, and it's kind of hard because there's not a lot of forums and stuff for, of course, this type of things that we're doing. So you just have to, it's like trial and error. But after all the trial and error, this is what I came up with, and it's worked pretty good. So if you guys want to take notes and just write everything down, listen, man, be my guest. That's what it is. But I do want to tell you guys one more time, like I told you in a previous video, my coilovers didn't get me to my ultimate low on front or rear. None of that got me to my ultimate low. It did get me lower in the rear, but honestly, it didn't get it. I mean, it wouldn't have got me maybe half an inch if I wouldn't have did everything else. So you can get the coilovers, but it's not gonna get you to that super low, like lip defender, stuff like that. It takes a lot more cutting and a lot more, just a lot of custom stuff that has to be done with that, and I will get into that in another video. But in this video, I just want to show you guys basically just the gist of the whole setup. So yeah, you would have to go a little bit more in depth if you want to get lower in the rear, but I just did this, like I said, for the quality. It's not the most comfortable, but it's not the worst by any stretch. For how it sits, it is 100% doable, and you can go on a pretty long stretch ride with it, and you won't be, I mean, it's not the craziest, it's not terrible, you feel me? So I would, like, if you can, this is a higher end coilover setup, but if you can afford it, if you're in, you know, financially you can work with this and make it happen, I would definitely run with Feel. I think they run for, like, a stock setup runs for like, I think maybe like 1,400, 1,500. I think you can get off like the whole setup for 1,500, but of course mine were really custom and I got a lot of other things done to it, so I spent a little more. But you can get this set up for like 1,500 out the door or something like that, and you will be happy. It comes out the gate with twist springs. They're not the stiffest, but they will work if you're, you know, just trying to mob decently low but not like lip defender and get a little weird with it. You can still run these pretty low with the Swifts that they come with. So, and run the one piece in the rear, and they are pretty, like I said, they are pretty small, so the whole setup's pretty small. If you are buying the Feel, you can just run the stock springs that come into it. You don't have to immediately change them out. Like I said, I just changed them out because I know what where I was going and like what I wanted to do and go for, so I just switched them out for stiffer. But even when I got them, when I first got them, I rode with the stock Swift springs for a while, so they're not bad, they're not terrible. Like I said, that the whole setup, the coilover setup, is based on, it's like a drift company out of like California or something like that, and they are amazing. Like I said, they're amazing, man. I think you got like 36-way dampening on them too, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, they're amazing. I couldn't ask for better. I've tried a lot of coilovers, and these right here have surpassed everything I thought about them. So these are it, man. I'm gonna show you guys the inside, show you guys a little bit of the interior. It's not all the way done. You guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, so if you're not, make sure you are following me. But you guys do know I am going to work with Brom soon, so I am getting racing seats, and I'm going to tell you guys what color soon enough. But the interior will be coming along soon. I'm going to get a roll cage, harness bar, the harnesses, the whole nine. But as of now, I'm going to show you guys just what's going on the inside. It's not the best, or it's not the most right now, but I'm just going to show you guys what's up. So as far as the inside, this is her. Of course, we still keep it, you know, we still keep it a little bit American mode. So we got her short in there, mixed it up with the Nardi. Momo, we got the Momo quick release, or just the Momo hub on the back. We got the fire extinguisher just because, you know, it does kick up a lot of sparks, and I don't have a fuel cell yet. I haven't did all that yet, so we do need that for now, just in case. So I am rocking that. And then of course, you guys know, like you see on my Instagram, we do have the gauges. We're still waiting on the oil pressure gauge, but we do have the gauges. And we're gonna do one more gauge right here. For the tack, we're just gonna take all that out and just run the RPM up top, and then run one more, like a fuel gauge right here, just because we don't have fuel, like a fuel gauge, once we take this out. So we're gonna run an RPM, just one tack right here, and then the fuel gauge like down here or like over there or something, you know. But we're gonna figure that out so that can be all clean and nice, and yeah, man, just be super racy. And then eventually, of course, you know, we're gonna get the handbrake. Drift HQ is gonna, you know, they're gonna do a thing with the handbrake, and yeah, man, the hydraulic brake, what we call it. So that's that. And then for the rear, I'm gonna show you guys. That's what you've been waiting for. So I'm gonna show you. Alright, so it's kind of dirty because we do have parts in here and stuff like that. But I'll show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys what's happening. Okay, so set aside all this stuff. Alright, so in here, okay, so in here, this is where the magic is happening. You feel me? So this is where we cut right here. So this is the diff, you know, of course, because that's always gonna hit. So this is where we cut the diff at, and we had to cut it a lot more than what we thought. There's a lot of lines and stuff that was around it, and it just kept stopping us from going lower and lower and lower. It was like we had to like take off so much. It was just so much like lines and everything all around just to move like quarters, like millimeters. It was terrible, you know. So there's a lot of lines and stuff that you have to move and adjust, but you will get it. Like I said, I think it took us longer just because Danny, the guy that was doing it, you know, it was his first time, of course, like anybody doing this kind of project. I mean, you don't see it every day, so it's kind of hard to know what you're doing if you haven't did it before. So it did take a little longer, but I think he has it down packed now, you feel me? Because it took him, I think, all in all, we thought it was going to take around like 6 hours, like a 6 hour job, and I think it was like 27 hours or something like that. So it was a pretty long job, and I mean, he was pulling like 14 hours like a day. Like he did a 14-hour shift one time, and it was a lot, man. It was a lot to go into this, but we finally got it, and it literally kept going like down so much, like so little, like it would go down a little bit lower. Then we do so much work just for it to go down a little bit lower, so much work for it to go down a little bit lower, so on and so forth, until eventually we got it. And actually we were gonna like stop and call it where it was, but I just knew what I wanted, you know. Like I knew how low I wanted it, I knew where I wanted to sit, I knew how I wanted it to fit, so I just I couldn't stop. We just had to keep going and keep grinding. So finally got it to where we wanted. When he sent me the picture, I just couldn't believe it. Like, thought it was photoshopped, and it was crazy, man. It was a great feeling. But we got it done. He put a beautiful piece of like kind of like a little piece of metal on it, riveted it down, and it's beautiful, man. Like everything came out great. Couldn't ask for more. And then we do have, if you look closely over here, we cut the welds. We cut all that out, of course, on both sides, right there, so the tires can come through. And it's still rubbing somehow. I don't know how. It's touching somewhere, and I gotta maybe like beat it up. We'll see. But this was just like a rough draft, of course, but we are gonna cut that and clean it all up and make it look all nice and pretty and stuff. We're gonna take all this dead end and stuff out of here and eventually paint all this, and it's gonna look nice and beautiful, you know. So yeah, that's what we did. We definitely cut all that out. I know a lot of you guys didn't know that, but yeah, it's getting pretty weird back here, you feel me? And then these are, of course, if you want to know, these are the field coils in the rear. Bada bing, bada boom. And there's just like a lot more like little minor stuff that was just, it was a lot of minor stuff, so it made it like a long job, you feel me? So, but I will touch on it more in like another video with like everything that was done with it. But that is like basically, you know, just a gist of what was, you know, what I can show like to the eye right now just from the camera. But I'll jack it up one day and show you guys up under it and all that stuff. I do have drop brackets on it. I feel honestly the drop brackets didn't do too much at all, but I don't know, maybe it could just be because I don't know, it could be my mind playing tricks or something, but I didn't feel like it dropped me that much more. And then of course when you do it, make sure the exhaust is cut off, you are gonna have to cut it because the exhaust does lay on the axle and you won't be able to get any lower. So with that being said, if you don't want to do anything else, if you just dropped it to its max potential, or just on the coils, whatever coils you have, you drop it at max potential and you see that it is super low, and you like say you jump on it or push on it and it's just bottoming out, it's simply because the exhaust, you feel me? So you are gonna have to cut that because it is sitting on the axle, so you have to cut it and you will immediately drop, you know, whatever inch or something. I mean, it'll definitely be noticeable, you feel me? So make sure you do that first before you start scratching your head and you don't know why your car is not going lower in the rear, or the new edge for that matter, you feel me? So these cars right here are super tricky to work on, just because they're not meant to go this low. They're not meant to be like this, you know. So they are, once you get past the normal like low and stuff, you know, then it's gonna start getting harder and harder just to get it to where you want it. You're gonna have to cut and take out a lot of stuff, and you're thinking, I mean, there's some sketchy stuff that is done to it, but I mean, it's still going, it's still chugging. So I'm not upset or anything about the whole setup, but it is going to take some cutting. So if you enjoy your car, or if you cherish your car, how it looks, you don't want to cut anything or mess anything up, don't do it, because you are going to sacrifice a lot of things, you are going to break a lot of things, you are going to take a lot of things out. And yeah, so I mean, this is for literally if you want to take it to that level, like you don't care. Like me personally, I'm going to do what it takes to get it to that level. So that's what I did, and that's what this is gonna take. Like, you're gonna have to cut a lot of stuff out, sacrifice a lot of things like my exhaust and all that. Like, it is super loud inside. It does drone sometimes and stuff like that. I do smell a lot of gas on the inside and all that. I mean, eventually I'm gonna get it fixed, but of course you're gonna have to sacrifice that. And if you do daily drive it, like around or your neighborhood, or if it's any like emissions and stuff like that you have to go through, I don't know how that will work, but yeah, man, that is what you're gonna have to keep in mind when you are doing it. So alright, yeah, so that's basically it as far as for the rear setup. I mean, as far as that, what I can show you to the eye, I will one day in another video jack it up and show you up under it, like the springs and the coils, like the one piece, show you how big it is and all that stuff. So in another video coming, I will show you guys all that good stuff, but for now I am gonna wrap this one up. Again, I love you guys so much. You guys are the best. You guys keep me motivated, so please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this video, and I will have some more bangers out for you guys, man. Peace.